In this video, I'm going to talk about 6 ideas that you must try to boost your growth on social media, specifically to boost business growth on social media. The very first idea that has been kind of on the rage in about, like, let's say the past 2-3 months is using 2 to 3 second short videos instead of graphics. Now, I don't know about your brand or about your business, but if you're a regular content creator, in other words, if you're creating a lot of content such as graphics or images, and you're always sharing educational content, this can work well with even motivational, inspirational stuff, or just really fun content or whatever. But really, it works well with educational content. Instead of sharing the regular graphics, which is just like a photograph that you download and then you put it on social media, try using 2 to 3 second videos, like very short videos. So what you want to do, I know how to do this, especially with Canva. If you are using Canva to create content and to create those amazing graphics, instead of downloading, because remember on Canva, you get to decide what exactly you're downloading, what you have created. You can download it as a PDF, you can download it as images such as JPEG or PNG, you can download it as a video. What you want to do is make sure that you trim the video down to about 2 seconds or 3 seconds. A lot of people even recommend like 1 second, but for me that's a little bit weird. So you want to trim it down to like 2 or 3 seconds and then you download it as a video. The reason is simply because when you upload this to platforms such as Facebook or Instagram or even LinkedIn, people have to watch the video multiple times before they read the entire, before they get the entire message. So imagine if your graphic just literally has like 1 sentence, but you can't read 1 sentence in like 2 seconds or 3 seconds. So that forces people to kind of watch the video over and over again. And that means that you are increasing the number of video views on that specific content. And what that simply tells the algorithm is that a lot of people are watching this, so a lot of people must be interested in it, right? So that means they're going to be recommending your video more, they're going to be showing it to more people, and you're going to get your content boosted on the algorithm, because the algorithm is like, people are watching this a lot of times, it definitely has to be some kind of important, piece of content, which it is. I trust that you're creating sensible content for your audience. So that is the very first strategy. The second, well, I wouldn't call it a strategy, I would call it more like a social media idea. The second idea that you should try out is to share everything to your stories. Now, I used to be the person before that would literally just share. So if you have like a carousel post, this works especially well with carousel posts. If you have a carousel post, what you're usually tempted to do is to share the very first one, like the very first slide, to your stories, and then ask people to go back there and go and read everything and comment or something. While I still think that that is all brilliant, I think it kind of takes it a step further when you literally just share everything to your stories. The reason is because not everybody is going to click through to want to go to the actual content and comment or like, or all those things that you think that they're going to do. But if you are more focused on serving your audience and giving them the absolute best content, then you shouldn't be so hell-bent on literally going to comment on that specific post. A lot of times people will prefer to reply to a story, send you a DM based on a story, than going to like a very specific content to leave a comment there. Some people are very private, some people don't like to just kind of comment on things, but they'll be very happy to send you a DM. And really, at the end of the day, what matters most is that you are striking conversations. This is bringing more people to talk about what exactly it is that you're doing. In fact, I think, in my own personal opinion, I've had so many people reach out to me via DM because of something that I shared on a story instead of the regular comment. It almost kind of feels like, I'm not saying this is true, but to a large extent, it almost feels like the algorithm is promoting stories a lot and getting more people to click through on your stories than on the content itself, especially when it is not like a trending content. If it's a trending piece of content, then I think that you're good and you can just go with that. But if it's like a carousel or just a regular post, share everything to your stories. Like, this works a whole lot more than just sharing the first slide. Share everything to your stories. What matters is that you are giving them that information, you're serving your audience, you're educating your audience, and at the end of the day, it actually ends up striking important conversations with the people that are viewing your stories. And remember, story views are a lot more than regular post views. So yeah, it works. My third idea that I think you definitely should try is to focus a little bit more on new features and updates. Now, when it comes to platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and I think literally almost every single social media platform does this, when they roll out a new feature, they are paying a lot of attention to that at that point, because sometimes features get taken back. Like if you can remember a couple years ago, LinkedIn had stories and they took that feature away. I really miss LinkedIn stories, but anyways, so I'm just saying every time that a platform rolls out a new feature, they definitely are putting more eyes on it, they're putting more emphasis on it. So that's probably a good time to start using that feature, because that means that the algorithm is going to recognize that you are using the platform a lot more if you are using whatever new feature that they are bringing up, and it's going to be recommending your content, because these people know what they are doing. Like, these algorithms are basically designed to promote and to put people that actually make the best use of the platform ahead of others that are just kind of sitting on it and just staring at everything and not doing anything about it. So you want to make sure that you're kind of ahead when it comes to what's new to this platform. I mean, obviously you shouldn't go out of your way or kill yourself for it, but if you get to find out that there's a new feature on a specific platform that you're using, you should start thinking about, how can I take advantage of this feature? Which brings me to my next tip. Take advantage of features. For example, Reels. I know that a lot of people feel kind of, weird around all those 6-second videos or 15-second videos where it seems like everybody's pointing at the screen or doing some kind of weird dance. You don't have to do that. I think when I think about Reels and TikTok and all these other, short form video content, YouTube even has like YouTube Shorts, which is very similar to TikTok or Instagram Reels. It all depends on how you take it, right? If you take it as, oh, I'm this big ass adult dancing on the screen and I look very silly, you are going to feel very silly if you're doing that. But if you think of it as, I have a business and this is a marketing platform and this is an opportunity for me to showcase my brand to the world, then the narrative is totally different. So you definitely do not want to hide when it comes to these. I would say it's not, at this point, it's not even a trend, because these things have been popular for at least 3 years, 2 to 3 years now consistently. So you should not even be considering them a trend. So like I said, my fourth idea is definitely to take advantage of short form video content, such as Instagram Reels or TikTok videos or YouTube Shorts, just those really short 10 to 15-second videos, or literally just 5-second videos. Learn how to do them and do, what relates to your content and what relates to your brand and what you don't feel absolutely, silly doing. No one is asking you and no one is saying that you must hop on every single dance video, you must start dancing in front of your screen before you can actually make any, get people to see your content. You don't have to do that. It all depends on understanding what it is that you want to communicate to people. If it's more like educational content, right, you want to create more educational content, you can do that. If it's that you want to provide more, you want to drive more views back to your product or service, you can absolutely do that without having to dance on a screen. My next tip, and this is one that is one of my absolute favorites, is to host like a video series. I love, things that in a series, like in series form, which is ironic because I don't watch a lot of like soap operas or actual like movie series. But anyways, think about how you can turn your content into a series. We recently did something like, in I think 90 seconds or less, there was like this bunch of videos that I created, and I was like, okay, I'm going to answer very common questions from my audience in 90 seconds or less. So we did email marketing in 90 seconds or less, and customer experience in 90 seconds or less, and we just like kept going with like in 90 seconds or less. So basically in 90 seconds I would talk about this thing and give you all the basic tips that you need to understand what that specific thing was. So that's just an idea of a series. You can literally create a series on anything. So let's say you're a hair care brand, right? And maybe you know how to make fancy wigs or weaves, or you literally know how to make people's hair. Maybe you want to educate your audience. You can literally create a series where you take maybe like hair accessories or hair care products, and you explain each one. So you could start with one and say, this is what it's used for. You probably shouldn't use it for this. In another video, you take another one. That's just like a very simple, easy video series that you can create. So think about your specific product or service and what exactly it is that you're trying to do with it. So especially when it comes to educational content, this is very brilliant. So just think about 3 to 4. It doesn't have to be a very long series, but you can just literally think about 3 to 4 types of content and something that is just like joining all of them together, like how are they all related, and that becomes your series. And believe me, people love series because it's just fun, right? It's like you don't have to do one thing and then that's the end. We could continue to learn more about this thing. We could continue to get more of this like beautiful experience that you're sharing, and it's just a very fun way to give out more information. I think when you have the ideology of like a series, it just makes it a little bit more fun, right? The final tip that I have for you when it comes to social media marketing and social media growth, and this is one that I have not seen in a while, I'll be very honest, and I'm curious to know why. Like, I think we should do something. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, I think we should do something, you know, related to this. My 6th tip is to host a takeover. Now, Instagram takeovers, for example, used to be very popular like 3 or 4 years ago. A takeover is simply having someone else to literally take over your social media platform. Already, you are the one that's showing up on stories and creating all this amazing content, and people are already familiar with you. This really works if people kind of know your face already, and then you have someone else, maybe someone that's part of your team or another brand that you're collaborating with or someone that you're working with. It could literally be anyone that you're sure will be able to handle the takeover, and you have them kind of come, like, especially on your stories, or show up live for like an entire day. Some people even do takeovers for like a week, right? Just for a period of time, and they kind of handle the account for that period of time. So like, imagine them waking up one day and seeing someone else, and it's all planned, and it's like, okay, I'm the one that's going to be hosting this party here today, guys. It's a lot of fun, right? So that's something that I'm even thinking right now that we should do. Like, it would seem like a really good idea because we have a team, and I think every single person on my team is brilliant and will have something sensible to contribute. So that's definitely one that you should try. Those are my 6 tips on how to boost your social media growth. Let me know which of these tips you are excited to hop on and try. Let me know if you've actually tried any of these before. And yeah, let me know if you try it and if you found it helpful. Remember to like this video. Remember to share it with someone that's also trying to grow on social media. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.